Hey, hello. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Rebecca. She came on here before once already, but she's back here again. And the first time she kind of interviewed me about people pleasing and sorry, can you hear that beeping noise?
I can't
There's
hear any beeping.
okay, there's some sort of beeping noise on my computer and I don't know what it is, but you can't hear it, so that's okay. Um, so she interviewed me about people pleasing, and now I'm kind of gonna interview her about people pleasing and her perspective and her journey and all that stuff. So, I'm gonna kind of start with the first question that you kind of asked me. Um, what would you describe people pleasing? What people pleasing is?
Oh man. I guess the way that I would describe it today is that it's a learned survival mechanism. So it's like a nervous system response. Some people go into like fight, flight, and some people go into people pleasing. And sometimes it's called like fawn, sometimes it shows up as freeze. But the point is, it's like something that for me, I learned really young as like a strategy of how to adapt to my environment and how to like be safe and be okay. So that's yeah, and it like manifests in a lot of different ways. Like I guess I would say it showed up for me as like not having a very strong sense of self and not really knowing what my values were and not really like trusting myself because as a survival strategy, it meant like showing up in ways that I needed to show up as in order to like maintain some sort of stability or which was like making someone happy so that they would be okay, so I could be okay. Um, and it's also showed up a lot as like me being a helper, like always trying to like offer advice and like I don't know, get people things or anticipate needs. So,
Mhm. But
yeah.
okay, that's great. I like the way that you described it because I've never heard of it being described that way. So that was like a great perspective to hear. So I guess yeah, kind of dive into your journey of this has just been how you've been like your entire life, and then there was a point where you noticed that you were people pleasing, or and also actually you kind of slightly mentioned it, but to like for people watching this, um they might not know what people pleasing is, I guess, and I guess just kind of signs of ways that they might be people pleasing. So I guess start with that and then dive into your journey.
Yeah. So I think people pleasing shows up in a lot of different ways. I can talk about it like how it showed up for me specifically. Um, like I guess it shows up, I can give an example, like with family, for example. It showed up as like I had a family situation growing up with like my one main parent had a lot of trouble regulating emotions. And so I learned that I needed to be sort of like a peacekeeper because as long as like this person was calm, then like I could be okay. Like obviously a kid feels unsafe when their parents like freaking out. So it was like walk on eggshells, like don't necessarily say certain things, like what's okay and what's not, like to not activate them because them getting activated means like that you're in danger. And obviously, like as a kid, I had no idea that like all of these concepts of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I would say it shows up as like walking on eggshells, um, trying to like anticipate people's needs, like can I do this for you? Do you need this thing? Like when they haven't even asked for it. Um, Also, I would say like it's really interesting, like the way as I study this more in myself and other people, like the subtle ways that I didn't realize I was people pleasing, but like anytime I'm trying to um like influence the way someone's feeling, that's people pleasing. Like if I want someone to be happy or I want someone to be um calm, like if they're stressed, if I want to change their emotions, like that is me trying to people please, you
Wow.
know? So like, for example, your boyfriend, girlfriend comes home or husband, whatever, your partner comes home after a day at work and they're stressed and you immediately like want to help them not be stressed, like that's people pleasing because it's like, oh no, like you're stressed. That's
What if you
bad.
what if you don't want them to be like you're not trying to do something to make them not stressed, but you just don't want them to be stressed. Would that be people pleasing? Because I know that's something that I struggle with.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, the label people pleasing for me is like I would apply it to my outward actions. Because if I'm like just having an internal experience, then it's just, I don't know, it's my own like inner experience. So I label people pleasing like um the actions that I take
Yeah,
outwardly.
that makes sense. Mhm.
Yeah. So, but what I would say, what you're describing is like that discomfort, like, oh, this person's stressed. I notice they're stressed. I'm feeling really uncomfortable with them being stressed.
Yeah.
And that's like your nervous system gets activated, right? So you're having this nervous system activation, and then it's like, how am I gonna respond to that? Am I gonna like fight about it? Am I gonna like make a scene? Am I gonna just like run away? Am I going to just like completely freeze up? Do
Mhm.
I like try to make them feel better? Or do I try like stay with myself and try to
Mhm.
regulate it somehow? Or not even try to do anything, but just like notice that it's happening and,
Mhm.
see what happens next.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I think, yeah, it shows up in so many ways. Like,
you even brought up ways that like I didn't even recognize. I'm like, oh, yep, yep, do that, do that. I'm like, damn. So
yeah,
many ways that even I'm not even fully like aware of yet. Still, like, I feel like I've come a long way, but it's still I still struggle with it a little bit here and there.
I think it's like super common. And I don't know if everyone resonates with like the label of people pleasing, but it's basically like so many of us learned like this conditional love growing up, right? Like I'll love you if you do
Mhm.
XYZ, or I love you if you show up as XYZ, but like if you do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing, your punishment is like this withholding of affection or love or attention or whatever. And so like of course the natural response and like what we're going to learn as kids, because we're not like consciously thinking about this, it's just like the brain encounters this experience, how can I respond to like have the right experience? Like it's very kind of robotic and automatic. And like, of course, like if you are punished for not behaving a certain way, like you'll stop behaving that way and like sacrifice whatever it is that's like making you want to be like that to like do the right thing. But I
Yeah.
think, people respond in different ways too. Like some people become very rebellious, and like my response was the opposite for the most
You,
part.
yeah. Yours was wanting to do whatever to make them okay, basically.
Yeah, and like to be a good girl, right? Like
Yeah.
I want to be good. I want to be like accepted and loved and um, validated, like compliments and praise. I
Hmm.
want the little pat on the head,
Right.
right?
I was just gonna go somewhere else. I was gonna be like, oh, it kind of turns into like a kink at that point, like a girl kink. That might just
Honestly,
be my
okay,
experience.
if you want to
But
go into this at all, like I've thought about this a lot because like how this plays into, because they say like, your sexual fantasies like have a lot to do with these like psychological
yeah.
mechanisms, right? And
Hmm.
it's like, because people pleasing is all about control
Mm.
and like trying to control other people, or like other people trying to control you, right? Because like if you're shamed for behaving a certain way, like shame is a way to control you and get you to like behave in a different way. And so I think it's funny that this went there, but I've like thought about this a lot. And I think like if you have, from my own personal experience, like if you have fantasies of any kind of like a control, like controlling or being controlled in like a sexual kink or whatever, it's like because you feel really comfortable, like your
Mm.
safety is in some sort of dynamic of control because that's like how you grew up.
Yeah.
And I think it's like hoping that it'll play out in a way that's like pleasurable and like mutually like no one takes advantage of that control,
Oh.
like maybe in childhood it was like really taken advantage of. There was like this messed up like power dynamic, and
Mhm.
it's like, well, maybe I can play with this in this situation and like give this person all the control, or I can have all the control and they'll like still care for me and like still pleasure me. You know what
Wow.
I mean?
Yeah. No, I've never thought that deep into it. I like that. That makes sense. It's like it's almost like yeah, what you're comfortable with or what you're used to, and then I kind of just like you kind of just play into that further, just sexually.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have like a psychology degree or anything. So this is
I think
all
you.
like
It sounds like you do. You should have one.
I think
You don't
about this stuff a
need.
lot.
Yeah, you don't even need one. Like you could be a psychologist. No, that's awesome. Let me just plug in my computer real quick because it's about to die.
Okay,
Oop,
maybe that was the beeping.
wrong one. Maybe that was the beeping. My light just went off. Okay. Oh, now the lighting's off. Okay, there we go. So when did you first kind of become aware that you were people pleasing?
That's such a good question. I think um this was like a slow unveiling, I would say. But I think like my main crisis moment, I call it like my quarter life crisis because I was around like 25, 26, 27, like Saturn return approaching time. I had just like I had just finished graduate school, so I did like a 3-year master's program to become a Spanish teacher at the college level. And then I taught for 1 year doing that. And then like during that year, I realized like I don't like this. I'm not happy. I'm burnt out. What am I doing? Like I just went to school for 7 years and I have like this mountain of student loan debt to like pursue this career. And it's like I don't want to do this. Like I'm burnt out. It's not a good fit for me. So I think at that point in time, that's when I started like really questioning some things. That was also um I was in my second marriage, so this has like shown up for me a lot. And that relationship was kind of getting rocky as well. So I was just having like this big like repeating cycles moment. And I started really thinking about like what am I doing? Because I think up until then, I was just kind of like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm following the path. Like I'm doing the things. I'm on the right road, you know? I
Yeah.
was just like in these autopilot programs of like what I thought I was supposed to do. You're supposed to like go to college, get a job, have a career, get married, get a house. Like those are the things you're supposed to do. Um, so at that point in time, I don't think I labeled it as people pleasing, but what I did say is I realized that I was like giving too many, probably can't say this word, right? Like I was giving too many, what word can I say instead of that?
F word? Too many Fs?
Yeah, I was giving too many Fs about everything. And I like distinctly remember at that time in my life being like, all right, I need to figure this out and like stop giving so many Fs about things.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I relate that to the people pleasing because it's like when you're trying to control everything, like you're giving too many Fs because you're trying to like control stuff that's not
Yeah.
worth trying to control. Yeah, so I would say that's when I like it
When
came
you
onto my
really,
radar for the first time.
yeah. I think it usually takes those like, oh shit, like the really hard, difficult moments to make big changes in your life, you know? Uh,
Yeah.
did you start, did you just start working on it yourself or did you work with someone else or?
Well, I would say that was like the first moment of awareness, but I still like had a good 10 more years of like going back into cycles and like repeating them.
Hmm,
So,
yeah, I feel that.
but yeah, but like slowly seeing a little bit more
Yeah,
each time, you know?
yeah.
Um, like so I was in therapy at that time. But I think I reflect back a lot actually on that like therapeutic experience because I saw that therapist for several years. And I remember she was like, she had all this like Buddhist stuff in her office, and she would like talk about, letting go and like surrender and things like that. And like like just totally, I was just not in a place.
Yep.
Like that was so foreign to me.
Hmm.
Um, I was such a control freak. Like there's no way,
Hmm.
like um, so yeah, I did do therapy and I think like that was valuable because I didn't really like I'd never really had like an adult in my life who was emotionally mature that I could like confide in and like have emotional safe space. So that was valuable. Um, but yeah, I think there's been a lot of people that have helped me
Hmm.
over
Okay.
the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like traditional and non-traditional.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
like books, I've read a lot of books.
Hmm. It's funny how you mentioned that, like the things going over your head. I look back at times where I don't know, maybe certain information was brought to me, but it's like I wasn't at that level of awareness. And it's like same thing with other people. It's like when they're not at that certain level of awareness, it's just like you're not gonna get it until like maybe later on the same thing is brought to you and you're like, oh, and it just finally clicks in your head and you're like, oh, that's why that, or that's why people say that or whatever. And it's funny that you mentioned
Yeah,
that.
totally. Well, I actually just like posted something along those lines the other day because I was reflecting back. I got married when I was 19, and of course, like that relationship fell apart, and I was getting divorced at like 22, and I was super depressed, and I went to a therapist for the first time ever, and she said something to me. She was like, at some point, you're gonna need to like consider the role that you played in the failure of this relationship. And at the time, like, I was so offended that she said that. And I was like, how dare she? Like, because I was super depressed and like that felt like really like
That's
hurtful to me. Like, I just wanted to be validated and like I
mhm.
needed help.
Mhm.
But she did plant a seed. Like, I've never forgotten that.
Mhm.
And 15 years later, I'm like, damn, she was right. Like 100%. Like,
Yeah.
but I was in like I was so far away from like being in a place where I could take any responsibility for any of it. As far
Mhm.
as I was concerned, like
Yeah.
I
I
was
feel like
such a
that.
victim.
Yeah. Aw. Well, that's okay. You figured it out, right? But yeah, I feel like that could the way that that sounds can be kind of harsh, but like and it's a lot of times we don't want to kind of look at what we've done, but I definitely think that more people need to kind of self-reflect in the sense of like not I wouldn't say like the way that she said it, I guess that you caused this relationship to fail, like and kind of sounds like you're a failure, like whatever. But like kind of leaning into like, okay, what parts did I like I don't know, like kind of like getting deeper into like what bothered you maybe in the relationship and the way that you showed up and acted or whatever. Like I think it's good to self-reflect in those parts where it's like, okay, I kind of didn't react the way that I wanted to react in this moment and kind of like self-reflecting and moving forward in that way. I think that's important.
It's like 100% important because like I've been doing these research calls on people pleasing and like anyone that's made progress with it, like they have had a moment of reckoning of taking self-responsibility. Like I I played a huge part in this. Like I am taking actions that are like causing things to happen. Like
Yeah.
I'm responsible. I have an internal experience.
Mhm.
Sometimes people are do horrible things and we're not responsible for their actions, but
Mhm.
like we choose to stay around them or we
Yeah.
choose to have relationships with them or we choose to tell certain stories. But I think like this whole thing of self-responsibility, I think about it sometimes too because along the road of my like personal growth, I remember various times of like thinking about taking responsibility for where I was in life. And it was like too much to handle because everything was so messed up that
Mhm.
I like couldn't, it was so hard for me to take responsibility and like be kind to myself. Cause I think that's part of it too. Like if you don't
Yeah.
have a good relationship with yourself and you take responsibility, it just turns into more like shaming and like depression and
Yeah.
like suicide even, like you'll just go to
Yeah.
this place of like because you don't have that
Yeah.
positive relationship with yourself, like it just kills any self-worth. So
Yeah.
that's like part of it too. Like you need to take responsibility, but like in doing so, you have to also like have a loving relationship with yourself and like be kind to yourself in that responsibility and
Yeah.
like
I
hold
think that's,
yourself in it.
yeah, that's the difference between like taking accountability and just like shaming yourself and putting yourself down versus taking accountability and also giving yourself compassion as well.
Yeah,
So,
it's huge.
yeah, exactly. So what do you think has been the most helpful for you or to like maybe a specific tool or a certain practice that has helped you just like, I don't know, self-develop or heal your people pleasing or any sort of, growth? What do you think has been the most helpful tool?
Um, so the biggest, I'll give you like the opposite of it. So like when I'm in people pleasing, I am ignoring myself. And I became like an expert at not paying attention to myself. Like all of my receptors were pointed outwards. So the biggest thing that's helped me is to spend time with me, like mindful time with myself where I'm like consciously present and build the relationship that I have with myself. Because
Mhm.
like ultimately I hadn't I learned not to be there for me. And so when times got tough, like I would freak out because I didn't have anything inside me to help like be there for me in the tough times.
Yeah.
And so I had to like cultivate a space for part of me to like come in and hold me during the hard times. And like I would
Mhm.
say it's still something that I like practice to this day. So it can look like lots of different things. Like this year in 2025, I've really committed to a daily meditation practice. And that's been really powerful for me. I know it's like cheesy and everyone's like, meditation, but like it actually really works the way that I've been doing it. Like I just started sitting for 10 minutes a day, and I'm not trying to silence my mind because I have a very active mind. I'm trying to watch it. I'm trying to observe it. I'm trying to like be present with it and not get lost in it. So that's my practice. And I think that the parts inside me are like very thankful for that. But
Yeah.
it also looks like yoga has been a really big part of it. Again, another like
Mhm.
cheesy thing people talk about, but that's really helped me get into my body and feel safe in my body. I was really disconnected from my body. So that's helped like bring my mind and body on
Mhm.
like to have a relationship.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, like getting hobbies. Like I would find myself in life just being, especially when I'm in a relationship, I can get like super obsessed like with the other person. Like I'm constantly afraid like that I'm, is the relationship okay? Like is this going to end? Am I going to just there's like this fear of abandonment that just
Yeah.
like clouds my vision without me even realizing like it's just so
Mhm.
intense. So like get letting myself get lost in things that are just for me, like whether it's just doing artwork or like going and doing things in nature or taking myself on like little dates, like spending time with me, focused on me and like letting the relationship just like
Mhm.
be there and like letting everything breathe, you know?
That's
Um,
awesome.
that's been really powerful as well. So I don't know if
Yeah.
does that kind of like
Yeah.
answer your question?
No, that's it. I think everyone should meditate, honestly. Like, not even just on a spiritual level, because it can be a spiritual thing, but like meditation just for like mental health and clearing the mind. And I know there's like multiple different ways you can meditate. Like you can just absorb, observe. I can't say the word. Absorb, whatever it is.
Observe.
Watch your thoughts. That's what I'm trying to say. Just like watching them, you can, like a meditation practice. If I'm trying to clear my mind, I will visualize like a river and kind of my thoughts going into the river and then flowing away. That will help me kind of empty my mind. Or just like even listening to a guided meditation like on YouTube or something. So I feel like there's different ways you can meditate, but I think everyone should try to find a way that works for them the best. Um, and then
Yeah.
how you mentioned figuring out your needs, because the same thing happened to me. I was like, I didn't even know that I had needs, and like figuring out those needs and building a relationship with yourself and doing the things that you like everything you mentioned is like I relate 100% to everything you're saying. I'm like, I think everyone should, you know, go on this journey and, figure themselves out and put themselves first, and then, the relationship comes together once both people are kind of whole by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like for me, it was like the quality time with myself because I would spend a lot of time by myself, but a lot of times it was like doing numbing types of activities, like just getting lost in a show or getting lost in like a game on my
Yeah.
phone or even reading for me. Like I love reading, but that can be an escape sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
So like I guess being really honest with myself about like am I
Hmm.
really spending quality time with myself? You know, like if I was dating me, would I be like, oh, I feel really connected after we binged this show for 10 hours? Like, no, I don't feel connected to you. Like we just
I,
sat next to each other, like
yep.
actually like engaging with yourself and like giving yourself that quality time and
Yes.
yeah.
I
And
relate
that
to that. Yeah. Sorry. Just because you mentioned that, because I was like, I really want a partner where we're super present. And then I'm like, where am I super present? Like, I need to be super present myself first. Like, we're in a world filled with distraction, like constantly. And it's like, you got to take that time to kind of just like shut it out and really be fully present.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be all the time. Like we don't have to
Yeah.
be crazy about it. Like I still will watch my shows and like play my games, but I don't
Yeah.
lie to myself about it and say
Mhm.
like, "Oh yeah, like I spent a whole Sunday afternoon by myself and I was just like totally zombieing out on something." Like,
Yeah.
no, because that's not good for your relationship to be like, "Oh, I spent time with you." And it's like,
Yeah.
"No, you didn't." Would
Yeah.
if your partner was like, "We spent time together," like, don't stop lying to me, man. Like, quit
Yeah.
gaslighting me. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. Okay, we only have like 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Quickly, I guess. How do you feel like people pleasing? Well, you kind of said this, but like just quickly, how do you feel like it's affected your relationships with other people the most?
Um, it's oh man, it's affected like every relationship that I've had. Absolutely. Now that I'm like um shifting it, I guess I can say how it's showing up the most is like it's really challenging me to stay present with myself and be honest when I feel like I'm showing up in an inauthentic way because I'll like start to feel it. Um, I
But how do
think,
you feel like I kind of want the contrast of it, I guess, like when you are people pleasing, how was it like really negatively affecting the relationship versus like healing it has kind of like helped whatever that struggle was in the relationship, you know?
yeah, I was doing it just today.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the way it shows up now is like mostly like with my partner, I would say. I think that's like the hardest place to change these things. Like
Yeah.
old habits die so hard. Um, and it just comes up in me like trying to control things or like if he's doing something that I'm feeling activated about, like I will find myself being like, "Oh, stop doing this," or like, "Come do this," or like trying to, control and like change the situation. And like it doesn't go well. Like nobody likes to be micromanaged.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to be treated like a child. And like I also eventually like become really resentful because I've like put myself in this parent role. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, so that's how it negatively affects things. And then when I am able to like check myself and get back in my own lane and like calm down,
Mhm.
um, everybody, loving is letting go, like just letting
Yeah.
the person be who they are and like let them be free and like let that be okay. Let me be okay in my stuff. Everything feels much
Yeah.
more harmonious.
I love that. I like this, hopefully for other people they can see like how it could help their relationships and help make their lives better and easier. So,
Yeah.
um, I guess quickly, I know you kind of like want to help people in this area, so um, I guess you could talk about like how you want to help other people and how they could, work with you and yeah, kind of just like what you want to do with people pleasing and how you want to help other people.
Yeah, so mainly I want to work with spiritually minded women who are struggling with people pleasing and or perfectionism. I say people pleasing, perfectionism, and overthinking. I would say those are like my main things, mainly because that's been most of my personal growth journey. And I love to work with people one on one. I also like to do group work as well in the process of developing some offerings for that. But of course, like if anyone's more interested to talk with me, like you can reach out on Instagram or Threads. I'm also on TikTok. My website is conversations for the number four growth.com. So that's another spot people can get in touch. But yeah, I'm in the beginning stages of doing this type of work, but it is definitely my life's work that definitely what I'm super passionate about. So
But and your
yeah,
energy is just so like calm, and I feel like I relate to you so much. It was like I think you should be very helpful to people and should definitely like go for it.
thank
Go
you.
all out, you
Yeah,
know?
I love it. I love it so much.
Hmm. All right. Well, because we only have a minute left, but thank you for coming on.
Thanks so
And
much,
this was
Shelby.
really great. And we might do another video because like I feel like it's never enough time. But yeah, thanks for being on.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.